Alright, so I go ahead and record. Alright, so I just took out this data from the table. So we took out period squared, and length. That's what we're going to use to plot our graph. Alright, so this is the first time we're going to plot our graph. Um, it's not hard. We'll walk through it step by step. Alright. So we have our length. As I said, this is the same data from this table. All right, same data. Nothing changes. So 42, 1.46. 42, 1.46. Nothing changes. All right. No, as we can see that as our length increase, the period squared also increases. All right. So we'll go now and attempt plotting a graph. All right, we're going to try and plot this graph now. All right, so we went ahead and we plotted some points. All right, this might look a lot no, but trust me, it's not. Um, we we are going to go through it. Give me a second here. All right, so we have um a point here. Now, if we look back on our table here, we see 42. Right, we see 42 and 1.46. Now, we put our length in on the horizontal axis. Our horizontal axis is called the x-axis. And that's where we put our length. All right, that's where we put our length, the horizontal axis. While on the vertical axis, we call that the
Y,
y-axis. Right.
y-axis.
So we have x-axis and we have the y-axis. Thank you so much. All right. Now, the length, we'll go ahead and try plotting this now. We have the length as 42. Length as 42, right? It's an approximation. It's not perfect, right? It's not perfect. You will find that um you'd have to approximate most of the values. But if you have a graph paper, it will be much easier. But for this particular exercise, we have to approximate. No, what's in the middle of 40 and 45? What is this value here? In the middle of 40 and 45. It's
3.
3,
3.
sir.
No.
Two
Mr.
point
I'm still not hearing you.
2.5, sir.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
42.5, right?
Yes, sir.
So if we divide 5 by 2, we'll get 2.5. Oh, I'm sorry. 42.5. I'm Ruby. So, all right. So in the middle here, we see 42.5. Is everybody seeing that? Please tell me if you're not seeing that. Please
Yes, sir.
stop me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. No, if this is 42.5 and we want 42 as our first reading, then 42 would approximately be here, right? 42 would approximately be here. And we will go ahead and match this up with the y-axis. I know it's a little complicated, no, but just give it some time and practice. You will get a better understanding. So we have 42.5 here, and then we have 42 here. No, the next value is 40 is 1.46, which would be our period squared. Period squared goes on the y-axis. So what is in the middle of 1.4 and 1.6?
Repeat, sir.
What is in the middle of 1.4 and 1.6?
1.5.
Yeah. So we have 1.5 here, right?
Yes, sir.
So 1.46 will fall somewhere in this region. Agreed? Just
Yes,
below 1.5. Right? Are we all seeing that?
yes, sir. We are seeing it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Let's try the other one. So the next reading was 45.
Yes,
So
sir.
45 would be here on our length. Length is here, right?
Yeah.
So 45 is here. We matched up to 45, and then now on our y-axis, we have 1.77. So on our y-axis, what is it? What is it in the middle of 1.6 and 1.8?
1.7.
All right. So 1.7 would be here.
Yes, sir.
So that means that 1.77 would be a little bit above 1.7. All right. So thank you, Miss Turner. Yeah, 1.7. So 1.77 would be a little bit above here. So it will fall in this region. So I can do one more. Let's do one more. All right. So length is here. On our x-axis, we have 50. So 50 would be here,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
Then
sir.
our x-axis or y-axis now has 1.93. 1.93. So what is in the middle of 1.8 and 2?
1.9.
All right, so we see 1.9. All right, I see Miss Turner saying 1.9. That's good.
Sir, would they play them stuff there?
All right, let's move on. I'm not focusing on that right now. Let's try and finish this up before the time runs out. All right. No,
Yes.
1.9. No, our value was 1.93.
So
So where would
1.9 would be a
where would
little bit above it.
yeah. So 1.93 would be where?
A little bit above it.
Right, a little bit above it. So it'd be around here, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I see that your understanding is anyone unclear what is about what is happening here. Please
But
indicate
sir,
in the
it come
chat.
like say me and Tina alone in our class.
Go again.
Sir, come like say me and Tina alone in our class.
And that is exactly what I'm afraid of. All right. I would like
I alone understand. Speak for yourself, sir.
so I asked the persons who are not understanding. Miss Kitchener, are you not understanding?
Sir, my reason why me not talk is because choose never there class before, so me not understand. So when me finish, me can read over one them before and then come back to this class and understand it.
Well, I can say that this is not really dependent on what is happening before. No. Yeah, this is not really dependent on what is happening before. All right, just try your best and understand this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where are you not understanding now?
Oh, you get it 4.2. If 42.5.
42.5?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
said
break it up
the difference,
previous.
what's in the middle of 40 and 45. So we are looking for a reference point to work with because we don't have the scales here. So we're trying to estimate the position of 42. So first we find out what is in the middle of 42 and 45, which would be what?
Oh,
Right? Will be this guy right here, right?
Yes, sir.
Or what
yes,
is in the
sir.
middle of 50 and 55?
Yeah.
2.5.
All right, Mr. Golden, you can give them a chance. All right.
Let
Let's
me
get
Me
to
ask
that.
that
get
something.
Let's get to
me not
that. Let me
understand
hear.
how we see.
You not understanding? Oh, you get 42.5?
Yes, wanna do to get the answer.
It's not an answer, you know. It's not an answer. We're looking for a reference point to work with. So we're estimating the position of 42. See,
Can
we have
estimate.
42 here. We're trying to estimate. If you had a graph, then it would be much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, that matter, man.
All right. So if we have all right, uh, Miss Kitchener,
Yes, sir.
divide 5 by 2. What do you get?
I'm coming.
4.5. No. 5 by
Your name Naila. 2.5.
Right. So in the middle of 0 and 5, in the middle of 0 and 5, this is 0 and this is the 5. What will we have in the middle?
Physics.
4? 2?
2. We just did it a while ago. We divide 5 by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what we have in the middle? We just did it a while ago.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. So it's the same thing we did here. So in the middle of 40 and 45, we will have 42.5. See the 2.5 popping up here again?
Oh,
Yeah. So we're looking for a reference point and we want to find it the middle so that we can estimate the position of the points on the graph. If you have a graph paper, it will be much easier. All right. If you have a graph paper, it's much easier. But I want you to just understand that most of the time you will have to estimate your positions on the graph. All right. Mr. Dante and Mr. Desroy, I am so sorry I cannot start over. The time is we're almost out of time. All right, we're
So,
almost out of time.
so, so I put this on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yes,
so it'll be
everything.
posted on Google Classroom and you can go back and watch it. All right, the link will be posted on Google Classroom. You can go and watch it from there. All right,
Sir.
so I record the classes. Question from Mr. Golden.
Sir, are we supposed to get graph sheet for next class?
All right, so who can get graph sheet? Who has graph
Sir,
sheet?
I have already.
All right,
sir, me
Mr.
have
Golden
one
has.
already.
All right,
Sir, me have.
so I will. Who does not have access to graph sheets? I see some message in the chat. All
Me,
right.
sir.
Hey, sir, excuse me, sir. You did call my name?
Yes,
No, that's fine.
I was saying that if you will have to go back and watch the videos on Google Classroom. I post these recordings on Google Classroom. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's do the last one before we go. All right. We're matching up 55 and 2.2. All right. 55 and 2.2. Let's try that one. So where is 55 on the x-axis? It'll be right here, right? 55.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And we're going to match it up now to 2.2. So let's do that. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up. And then 2.2, where is 2.2 on the x-axis? On the y-axis?
A little bit over the 2.
2.
All right, so we see 2 here, and then we see 2.2 here, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yeah, so we
sir.
have what we need. 55 and 2.2. 2.20, right?
What am I supposed to say?
So we have it here, 55 and 2.2. Ms. Turner, I'm going to ask you to remove the blue writing, thank you. So 2.2, and we basically match it up. That would be our point. Now, let's do the last one. The last one is 60 and 2.5. I know it's difficult for me to even teach this at this point. If we were in class, I would have a better way of teaching it. If we were in class, all right. But let's see how best we can do this, right? And you
Got
can
it.
also go on YouTube and look up more ways of doing this. All right, let's do the last one, 60 and 2.5.
0.
All right, so we have 60 here, and we will match it up to 2.5. So 60 here, 2, we have 2.4 here, and we have
Yes, sir.
2.6 here.
2.5 is directly in the middle of it.
So it will be directly in the middle of it. So we basically match it up to what is happening here. Are we all clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, what
Not
is the last step? The last step would be to what? Draw a line to connect all these points, right?
Yes, sir.
That's our last step. So let's try that now. I'll get rid of all of these markings. See if I can. All right, that's not working. All right, that's good. So we draw a line now to connect all these points. Not all of them will be on the line, but you should use a ruler. I don't have a ruler on this, right? So, but you can use your ruler. You should try and get your points on the line as best as possible. Not all of them will be on the line, but you want to get them the same distance away from each other. All right. So
Yes,
it would
sir.
look something like this. This is a better one. If you realize these points are not on the line, these points are not on the line. This is the best way. This was generated by the computer. All right, compared to mine. Okay, so we have less than, let's see,
2 minutes.
less than 2 minutes. Um, I will post an activity for those who have graph paper. Oh, one last thing. One last thing before you go. You realize that we started at 40, right? This is our graph. Remember, we realize that we started at 40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when you're plotting your graph, you can cut your graph. If you realize if we started at 0, this is
Yes,
this is
sir.
the same graph, but what is happening here? What is this? Empty space, right? This is empty space, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
Yeah, we don't have any use for this. So we can cut the graph and we start at 40. So our value started at 42. We could start at 40 to get a better reading. All right. So if your graph starts at 30 or at 35, right, you can start plotting your points, or you can start your scale. When you're coming up with a scale, you can start at 30, then 35, then 40, right? Then 45,
45, so on
right?
and so forth.
So you don't have to start at 0 at all the time, all the times. You can start at a number that is closest to your lowest point. So if the lowest point is 25, where can you start?
20.
Yeah, you can start at 20. All right? Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody unclear what is happening? All right. Remember that the videos will be posted, so you can go back and if needs be, you can watch it over again. So I will post now the updated version of your assignment. All right, and this will be due next week. You will have
Yes, sir.
1 week to complete this. This will be due next week Tuesday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So have a nice day, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day. All the best.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Sarag.